Hello, and thank you for inviting me to speak to you today. I am Lorraine Estelle from Information Power Limited, and I'm going to be talking to you about a project which we are doing called Facilitating Open Access Agreements, SPA-OPS3, and the project is commissioned by the Association of Learned and Professional Society Publishers and Plan S. Before telling you about the project, I want to give you a little context as to how it came about. Earlier in 2021, we undertook a project to look at the progress that was being made in open access agreements between independent publishers, small independent publishers, society publishers, and university presses with library consortia. And we found that in certain countries, most notably the UK and Ireland, these smaller publishers have successfully entered into open access agreements. Now, it should be said that in the UK and Ireland, the library consortia received special funding that allowed them to devote resource to doing these agreements, these open access agreements with the smaller publishers. But this success is not mirrored elsewhere in the world. We spent a lot of time talking to independent publishers, society publishers, and university presses, and library consortia to discover what the challenges are. And it's clear that open access agreements are difficult to scale up, both for library consortia and for publishers. Library consortia are stretched in terms of time, and of course have to prioritize those very large open access agreements with the largest publishers. And the small independent publishers very much feel that they're at the end of a long queue to get time with the library consortia. In agreeing open access agreements, quite a lot of data is required. And this is a pain point both for libraries and for publishers when implementing these agreements. Once an agreement is in place, meeting the workflow requirements requires so that library consortia and libraries can evaluate the open access agreement are really arduous for the smaller publishers. Very often they have to do everything by hand. They don't have the systems set up to automate that process. And a final challenge are license agreements. Every library consortia has a different license agreement for open access, and small publishers are not experienced in handling them. Indeed, this is the first time that many of them have had to do so. They don't have legal counsel in-house, and traditionally in the subscription world, that work would have been done by the subscription agent, not by the publishers themselves. So the purpose of our project is to address some of those challenges, and it's going to be a fast project. We are charged with coordinating 4 task and finish groups who will develop principles for open access agreements, a model license, a data template, and workflows. And these will underpin open access agreements between libraries, a library consortia, and these small independent publishers. And we will convene 2 events with intermediaries who will need to take action in order to support the implementation of the outputs. If you would like further context about the background for the project, I have the link there and you can read our report. So, progress so far. In August, we sent out expressions of interest, asking people if they would like to participate in these groups. And we had 59 responses. And in fact, since then, we have also received approaches from other people offering to participate in those working groups. All 4 groups are now established under the following chairs. So the Principles Working Group is chaired by Rob Cookson from IWA Publishing. Model License Group by Celeste Feather from Lyrasis, the Library Consortium in the USA. The Data Group chaired by Claire Moulton from the Company of Biologists, and Workflows by Arjan Shalakan from UKB CIS in the Netherlands, Library Consortium. The terms of reference are in place for each group, and each group has a Google Docs folder with documents on which they can collaborate. We're also engaging with NISO to align the workflows work we're doing with the NISO workflows work, and also because NISO may be the home for some of the outputs of this project. The principals group have met twice now and are working on a second draft of the principals document, which they will discuss at their next meeting on the 6th of October. In addition to the task and finish groups, we have a steering group providing oversight of the whole project. And we're really pleased that we've got a really broad range of representatives on that group. We have, of course, the sponsors of the project from Coalition S and ALPS, but we have a wide range of other voices as well. For example, Salford University, a university focused on teaching. We have Andrew Joseph from Wits University, and he runs the university press there. Eiffel is represented, we're pleased to say. And we also have Glenn Truran from SANLIC, the Library Consortium in South Africa. So I think you'll see quite a wide range, both from the publishing side, from the funders, and from the Library Consortia. Task and Finished Group 1 of the Shared Principles Group, as I say, has already met twice and is reviewing and revising the shared principles that underpin open access agreements between consortia, libraries, and small publishers. The themes in the draft principles are transparency, ensuring publishers, consortia, and libraries all understand the OA process, pragmatism. Agreements must be aware of the material realities to ensure the largest number of organizations can benefit from OA. Equity, ensuring organizations in developing nations are not disadvantaged. Price and cost allocation. Costs must be divided in a way that fairly affects all involved organizations. Group 2, working on the model license, will use the SPAROX model license as a base and attempt to align it with the shared principles from Group 1. And we hope this license will be delivered by the 31st of January 2022. Our third group, the data template group, will devise a data template that small and independent publishers can present at the start of an open access agreement negotiation with a library consortium. And the group will also devise a glossary of key terms that should be known. Our group 4, the workflow group, will agree upon a set of minimum workflow requirements which are achievable by the smaller independent publishers. And these will be based off the current ESAC workflows. As you can see, a lot of work to be done in a short amount of time, and our deadline to have this project completed is March. And we will launch the outputs of the project at the UKSG conference in Glasgow. And we will, of course, also aim to ensure that the outputs are openly available so that all independent publishers, library consortia, and indeed libraries can use them. So thank you for listening.